Before we get into this third mailbag on today's live show, want to make sure that you've subscribed to the channel and you've turned on your notifications. Because when your notifications are on, you get notified, yeah, you guessed it, every single time I am live or we post a brand new video. So please subscribe to the channel and help us continue to grow our NBA coverage. Let's go to LA Ambition. I almost read that as Lambition. It says, which Lakers are the biggest trade pieces? Good question. Lakers don't have a lot anymore because they traded away Danny Green. That was kind of your big trade piece. I think Alex Caruso is a guy you could see talked about in, discussed in trade rumors, but I don't know if he actually ends up getting moved. So I think the most tradable player for the Los Angeles Lakers is this man right here. It's Kyle Kuzma. Sorry, buddy. I think at the end of the day, he's probably has more trade value than a lot of guys on this roster because he's so young. He's got a very tradable contract. He does a lot of things that teams want as that kind of sixth man that knows how to play his role. And so I think when you're talking trades for the Lakers, I don't think they're going to be able to make any huge splashes. But if they do make any, I think it has to include Kuzma. And I think it's very realistic that we could see him on his way out as he wants to get paid. But I don't know if the Lakers are going to have the money to actually end up paying Kyle Kuzma. And if they want to trade him, they're going to have to do it. But why don't you go ahead and name one player that you think will be traded during the season? Because the offseason's coming to a close at this point. So before the NBA trade deadline, name one player that you think will be traded during the regular season. I think Victor Oladipo's a good name. I think Kyle Kuzma is a good name as well. Watch out for Spencer Dinwiddie of the Brooklyn Nets as well. And if you want more of my Lakers coverage, when you go to this link, youtube.com/LakersTV, I'll have you with all the Lakers coverage you will ever need. We just hit 30,000 subscribers. We're continuing to grow on a regular basis. So help me grow the channel at youtube.com/LakersTV. Jason Gervais's best duo in NBA history. I mean, it's got to be MJ and Scottie Pippen, right? I mean, that has to be the best. If we're talking the one that I enjoy the most, or that honestly, another one that could be the best, Kobe and Shaq. I mean, just purely dominance. I mean, that could definitely be an answer. My favorite was watching Dirk and Steve Nash go at it. I mean, that was a super fun duo. I'm hoping the Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis era is pretty darn similar. LaMelo Ball and Gordon Hayward. Maybe that'll be the next best duo in NBA history, but maybe we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Now, a little market research here for our chat sports watchers. How many of our videos are you watching per week? Are you watching just one? That's fine. At least you're watching one. 2, 3, 4, or maybe you're watching more than 5. Let us know in the comment section just how many you're watching every single week here on Chat Sports, because the NBA coverage here is blowing up, and I have a feeling a lot of you guys are watching a lot of our videos a lot of the time. Vincenzo Powers says, will the Hawks make the playoffs? I can't imagine them not making the playoffs. If they do, it would be embarrassing because they have all the talent in the world. Again, I think I talked about this earlier on our live show, but Trae Young, Danilo Gallinari, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Kevin Huerter, Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Onyeka Okongwu, and Clint Capella. That's 9 guys that should be in any team's rotation right now. Oh, and Rajon Rondo as well. That's 10. That's 10 guys that could be in any team's rotation. And now I think they are a playoff team. If Trae Young doesn't make the playoffs this year, we're going to have some bigger problems with Atlanta. The only thing I do worry about them, though, is defense. And now if you want to check out our deals over at Fanatics, I got the place for you to go. Chatsports.com/NBA Mask. Hooking up all of our NBA watchers with this awesome deal. Chatsports.com/NBA Mask. Go click on this link that you see in the comments or in the description of this video, and you can get whatever team mask you're feeling, whether it's this blue and orange New York Knicks mask. Hey, for a lot of things they do wrong, the Knicks do get their colors right. At least that looks somewhat good. But whatever team you want to rep and however many you want to buy, chatsports.com/NBA Mask is the place to go. Jeff Stamp says, what realistic trade target can the Celtics chase after besides Miles Turner? Jeff, you must be watching our Celtics channel quite a bit because I feel like I talk about Miles Turner every single time on that channel. If you want another big man, I don't know if it's realistic, but let's go pipe dream. How about that? Rudy Gobert is the guy you're going to chase because he's a free agent in 2021. Maybe you can convince him to stick around for a little bit longer. I just don't know who they're going to give up. Do they give up Grant Williams and, an Aaron Nesmith plus another young piece? I don't know. Maybe Marcus Smart. Would it cost that? I don't know. But Rudy Gobert would probably be your pipe dream if you're a Celtics fan. At the end of the day, the Celtics don't need a whole lot besides another true big man or maybe a new point guard if you're tired of Kemba Walker. Not going to read that name out loud, but says, do you think the Warriors will trade Andrew Wiggins and 2 picks for Zach LaVine? That's too much for Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine and Andrew Wiggins are very similar players. Neither of them are very consistent three-point shooters, but LaVine's definitely a better three-point shooter, I will say that. Both of them are great athletes. They're both, again, inefficient in ways. So adding 2 picks to Andrew Wiggins for Zach LaVine just doesn't make sense if you're the Golden State Warriors. So, no, I think the Warriors say absolutely not. Tony Sarmiento says, what do you think about Kawhi Leonard going to Dallas next offseason if he decided not to stay, of course? No. It'd be a fun idea, and he would be a perfect fit in Dallas as that defensive wing the Mavs so desperately need. But let's be honest. Kawhi's not leaving Los Angeles to go to Dallas. And I know everyone would like to think that Dallas is a destination for a free agent like Kawhi, but in all reality, it's just not going to happen. Hey, maybe Mark Cuban can sprinkle his magic fairy dust on Kawhi, and something will come along. Rogue Brothers, another Mavs question here. It says, Harden to the Mavs. Oh, Lord, have mercy on my soul. Harden to the Mavs for Tim Hardaway Jr., Dwight Powell, Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleber, 2 first-rounders, and a second-rounder. Rogue Brothers, I really appreciate your Dallas Mavericks question. The Rockets say no, first of all, because Hardaway's not a star, Dwight Powell's not a star, Maxi Kleber's not a star, and Dorian Finney-Smith is not a star. You're not going to trade 4 role players for 1 MVP candidate. And also, if you're a Mavs fan, I don't want James Harden on this team. I saw an argument on Mavs Twitter, and you can go follow me on All Things Mavs on Twitter. I saw an argument saying I'd trade KP for Harden. No, I wouldn't. Chemistry matters and fit matters. I'm saying no. All right, I'm getting off my Dallas Mavericks tangent. No more, but go subscribe, youtube.com/allthingsmavs. Snazzy Man says, I feel like I haven't heard of the Spurs in a while. Do you think they'll do anything big? No. Maybe trade DeRozan, maybe trade LaMarcus Aldridge for draft picks. I think that's what they should do. Go all in on this DeJounte Murray and Devin Vassell backcourt and just hope that it works out. Hope Luka Samanic is a good player off the bench for you as well. Who else did they get in the draft that I'm blanking on? Trey Jones out of Duke. That was a good second-round pick, a perfect Greg Popovich fit. Also would like to pat myself on the back here because I mocked Trey Jones to the Spurs in just about every single mock draft in the second round. Good for me. Joseph Ketchum says, should the Grizzlies trade for Drummond? No. God, no. I love Jonas Valanciunas on the Memphis Grizzlies. I would not give up Valanciunas for Andre Drummond. I wouldn't give up Jonas Valanciunas playing time for Andre Drummond. And I'm kind of a Drummond hater. I'll admit it. I think he's always been a guy that puts up big numbers but never contributes to wins. And I don't think Drummond and Jaren Jackson Jr. would coexist very well in the same front court. So, no, Grizzlies should not trade for Andre Drummond. Leon says Giannis to Golden State. Not via trade, but 2021, it could happen. And if it does happen, we're going to have all that coverage for you on our Warriors Only channel. And it would be absolutely insane to see, but I do think Golden State is a realistic possibility. I think he will meet with probably about 5 teams. I think those teams will be the Warriors, the Dallas Mavericks. He's going to meet with the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's just go ahead and face it. The Toronto Raptors and the Miami Heat. And then obviously the Milwaukee Bucks. That would be his 6th team. But those would be the 5 teams that he's not currently with that I think he'll end up meeting with. And I think the Warriors have a pretty good shot. Avery Jensen says, where will the Spurs send DeRozan? He wants to go to the Lakers, not to the Clippers, to the Los Angeles Lakers. They don't have the trade pieces to pull it off. Like, I don't think a package that includes Kyle Kuzma and Alex Caruso is going to land you DeMar DeRozan. I would watch out for the Lakers. I'd watch out for the Atlanta Hawks, potentially as a team that's kind of a dark horse that could trade some younger players if they want to keep going all in on this win now. And look, if you're looking at maybe trading a Kevin Huerter plus a Cam Reddish or a DeAndre Hunter for DeRozan, and you have a new starting 5 of Trae Young, DeMar DeRozan, Danilo Gallinari, Bogdan Bogdanovic, John Collins, and then you include Capella and Onyeka Okongwu off the bench. It's a really good team in the Eastern Conference. So I think the Hawks could be your kind of sleeper team for DeRozan, but at the end of the day, I think the Lakers are that team to really watch out for. Now, if I didn't get your question on my mailbag or I haven't gotten to it yet, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Jimmy_Crowther and send me any NBA questions you might have. I try to check my DMs every night before I go to bed for any new NBA questions, and I always have a lot. So go ahead and follow me at Jimmy_Crowther. I appreciate all of those of you that already have. Avery Forbes says, how many players are the Lakers able to get in the buyout market? Well, I don't know who's going to be in the buyout market, first of all. I think that's important to note. One guy to keep an eye on maybe is Cody Zeller if they want to get another big man of the Charlotte Hornets. If they open up roster spots, that would mean probably waiving like Alfonso McKinney, a Quinn Cook, a Jared Dudley. They could go out and get as many as they want. But as of right now, buyout market is a long ways away. Prom C Sun, with another Lakers question, says the Lakers trade Kuzma to the Hornets for Terry Rozier. I don't hate that trade. I think Charlotte might say no simply because they have PJ Washington. Washington and Kuzma are kind of similar in that power forward spot. But also, if Terry Rozier doesn't want to be in Charlotte anymore, sure, send him to the Lakers. However, you'd basically have to guarantee that he's a starter and Dennis Schroeder's your sixth man, because I don't know if Terry Rozier would be willing to come off the bench for the Los Angeles Lakers.